And good afternoon and welcome to the Summer of Baseball, proudly brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. We are viewing the start of the second grade grand final of the New South Wales Baseball State League competition. Second grade, yes, it's underway. You just saw the first pitch. We're going to bring you the defensive lineups and the play-by-play description of this complete game right through. And it has been an exciting day of baseball here already. We are at Blacktown International Sports Park on what is a fantastic day. We've witnessed the under-18 State League Grand Final, the championship game. That's been decided, and results for that later on. We've also seen the third grade championship game Grand Final, and that's been decided as well. And two fantastic games of baseball to start the day off. Of course, under-18s commenced at 9 a.m. this morning, and then that was followed by the third grade game at 12 o'clock. And here we are, second grade underway, first pitch 4 o'clock, and leading off for the Ryde Hawks side. It is Ryde versus Cronulla. Leading off is Jake Clinch, and he's fouled a couple of pitches off. As you can see, we've got all the shots here. PMAC doing the switching. Big Cam, my partner in crime, on the end of the microphone. And Matt Givon a little bit later on will join us as well in commentary. We've got a four-man team working today because it is a big day of baseball here at Blacktown International Sports Park. And Clinch goes down looking at the third strike. KC didn't even make an effort on that one with a count the way it was. Big Cam.
No, took the curveball. Nice pitch that from Alex Brook. We will run around the diamond for you, let you know exactly how Cronulla are lining up. In left field will be Nick Coughlin. In a centre field, Cole Smith. Right field is Casey Connor. At third base is Christian Angelis. At shortstop, Ismail Adra. Max Marakovic is at second base. Jaden Cavill, the first baseman. Nick Gates is behind the dish. And Alex Brook is on the mound.
Well done, Cam. Thanks for that defensive lineup. The Cronulla Sharks doing that. Ground ball straight away, first pitch to James Murphy. And he hits it straight to the shortstop at Cronulla out there doing a fantastic job. Ismail Adra gets that across to his first baseman, Jaden Cavill, and they get that out. So 2 out now for the Ryde Hawks, top of the first inning.
Yeah, this game is going to be played at the same pace as the last game. It's going to be a cracker. The last game was played at an extremely good pace for a third grade game, and I'm expecting nothing less of this second grade game. It has been aggression from the word go. Matt Nixon in the box now for the Ryde Hawks.
They're all showing their colours here. They want to get into this game early. It is a 7 innings game. The lower grade game's limited to 7 because that's about what they play in the regular season. They're a time-limited game regular season, and they only tend to get around about 7 innings in. So the decision was made, ground ball to second base, and that's an out on the 4-3 play on Matt Nixon. So Ryde Hawks, top of the first innings, go 3 up and 3 down. And welcome back to the action here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where the Cronulla Sharks take their place at the plate through their lead-off, Christian Angelis, bottom of the first inning. So their turn now to show their colours. The Sharks, Angelis leaves that first one alone. Strike on the outside, just painting the edge of the plate. The starting pitcher for the Ryde Hawks, Kento Camarieso. Nice strike, nice fastball. Pops one up now. Angelis pops one up. It's in foul territory, but getting across there for the Ryde Hawks. Their first baseman, Brett Tate, gets in there and gets a foul fly ball at position 3 for the first out. So Cronulla go 1 up or 1 down. Lead off first out. Foul fly ball by the first baseman. Well caught there by Tate.
Expect a high standard in this game, Harrow and PMAC, because there's a lot of guys playing in this game here that have played a lot of first grade throughout the season. We've seen both the Camiariso brothers for Ryde go around in first grade. Jake Clinch has played first grade. Brendan Lara's first pitch is a high fly ball to centre field. Should be no problem out there for Tommy Truelove, and there isn't. He takes it comfortably out there in centre field, so 3 pitches for 2 outs for the Ryde Hawks.
He backed up on that ball to centre field really well. He was calm and in control and never took his eyes off the ball, positioned himself nicely, and I'm sure he got help from his left fielder calling him back just a step at a time, and it was a very well controlled catch in deep centre field. That brings to the plate Darren Phillips, designated hitter Darren Phillips. Now here's a man with some experience in the Cronulla Sharks lineup. He's got heaps of it. And he's loving his baseball at the moment too. A bit loose outside there by Kento.
And you're right, Harrow. He's actually been around baseball for many, many years, both at the ABL level as well as local and representative duties.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see people like him coming back, putting something into the game for the young guys. High fly ball to deep right field side.
Dropped out there by Matt Nixon. He had a play right on the foul line, and he just dropped it as cold as a spud.
Wow.
So got to be scored an E9 out there on poor old Matt Nixon. He had an absolute play at it, and just dropped it cold. There's no reasonable excuse as to why that ball went down, other than just a lack of concentration out there from Matt Nixon. And that allows Phillips to go round to second base.
Scoring position for the Cronulla Sharks. Bottom of the first inning, but 2 out as Cole Smith steps up to the plate. Left-handed hitter, as you can see, Cole Smith. Centre fielder for the Sharkies. So let's see what Kento delivers. Fastball outside. Fouled off over the third base dugout, where the Ryde Hawks are resident. So runner deep off the line there. Shortstop way in there behind him, nice and tight, just having a whisper in his ear. It won't make any difference to Darren Phillips what anybody says. He'll play his own game.
Again, has all his life.
Yeah. Kento now gets set up on the lefty. And just misses the outside edge that time. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the count on Cole Smith. We'll bring the full defensive line up for the Ryde Hawks to you shortly. But with 2 out, we'll continue with the call on the pitching here. Kento Camarieso comes to the plate inside there on Smith.
I'll quickly whip around the outfield. Michael Coughlin in left, Tom Truelove in centre, Matt Nixon in right. Jake Clinch at third, Juan Camiariso at short, James Murphy at second. Brett Tate is at first, Brendan Lauer behind the dish. Kento Camiariso trying to get rid of Cole Smith. He fires in a called strike to make it a full count of 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's easy to get confused, Cam, isn't it, with the left fielders?
It certainly is.
Cronulla have Nick Coughlin in left field and Ryde have Michael Coughlin in left field. I thought I was seeing things. I probably was.
Smith hits it hard, fouls it off down the first base side. The count will remain full. So again, we've got time. Michael Coughlin in left, Tom Truelove in centre, Matt Nixon in right, Jake Clinch at third, Juan Camiariso at shortstop, James Murphy's the second baseman, Brent Tate the first baseman, Brendan Lower behind the plate, and Kento Camiariso dialing the strikes and balls for the Ryde Hawks.
Certainly is, and he's dealing well. Misses inside for a walk. Cole Smith gets a base on balls. First one of the game. And there was a fly ball earlier on Darren Phillips, who's standing at second base, that should have been the third out here. Should have been 3 up, 3 down on Cronulla.
Now a very dangerous hitter to the plate for the Cronulla team. Jaden Cavill.
And for a young man, Jaden Cavill's got a bit of experience. Straight to second baseman. Commentator's curse. Got him out straight away. 1 pitch, 1 hit. Line drive to second base.
So that ends the first innings. The first innings is complete. It is 0-0 between Ryde and Cronulla. We'll be back shortly with that second innings. And back here at Blacktown International Sports Park, you are with the Summer of Baseball broadcast crew. Paul Harrow-Harradine to my right, Big Cam Hickson here in the middle, P-Mac Paul McCulloch to the left, bringing you all the action courtesy of Sports Broadcasting Australia here on Grand Final Day in the State Baseball League. Under 18s and third grade already decided. Now we're knuckling down to the second grade grand finalists to see who out of the Ryde Hawks and the Cronulla Sharks will walk away with the second grade silverware.
And for those that have just tuned in, the under 18 result was Manly 3, Cronulla 1. And Cronulla led that game for, I think,
it was 1-0 top of the seventh.
Innings.
Yeah, it was 1-0 going into the bottom of the seventh inning.
Yeah.
And Cronulla snuck away with that one in the bottom of the seventh, scoring 3 runs to win it.
Yeah, well, Manly came up and did that.
Sorry, Manly sneaking away with 3 runs. Yep, to
exactly.
take it away.
And, very, very tight game and breakthrough in the very last innings. The most important part of the game is the end when you've got to be on the scoreboard.
Well, that's it. It's not how, it's how many. And the aim of the game is to have more runs than your opponents when the umpire calls time and game.
Absolutely. At the plate now for Ryde Hawks is Brett Tate. And gets that ball. A ground ball though to second baseman Max Marakovic. And
not handled.
Overthrows it at first base.
Cavill was on a full stretch at first base and just couldn't keep it in the mitt. So it'll be interesting to see how they score it. It was a low bouncing throw from Marakovic, so it's likely to be scored a wild throw against him.
Wild throw against Max Marakovic. He did a good job to get to the ball and cut it off. I thought But then you've got to be able to grip it, get your feet, and get a good throw across to your first baseman.
Well, if the throw was a good throw and on the money to Cavill, there would have been no question the out would have been made. So I can see PMAC's reasons for wild throwing Marakovic there.
Yeah. He had a go, didn't make it. So the runner at first is Brett Tate. And at the plate, Brendan Lower. Or Brendan Lower.
Low.
Not afraid to put bat behind the ball. Alex Brook is the pitcher for Cronulla. And he looks like he's got the goods.
Commonly known throughout the baseball fraternity as Tex. Is Brendan?
Tex. Well, I can tell you that in second grade, so he hasn't played a lot of second grade this season. He's only had one appearance for one start, and he got through that game without giving up an earned run, so it was an ERA of 0.
Wow.
So pretty handy performance. Pitched all 9 innings in that game. In fact, no, that's on 2 games. He's pitched nine innings. With 14 strikeouts in those 9 innings. So can
Not bad for a catcher.
Can record a strikeout.
I'd like to know where that nickname came from. That's an interesting one. Must come from junior days, I guess.
I've always known him as Tex.
Yep, there's the crowd calling out, come on Tex. Can hear it through the headphones. Lower standing firm there at the plate. So comes to the plate again, goes through the middle. Shortstop cannot get to it. Ismail Adra made a diving attempt at that, could not cut it off, just got the tip of his glove there. And that moves Brett Tate around to third base. Standing safely there is Tate. Safely at first is Brendan Lower after driving that one through to what became, I think, centre field. And Brendan Lower safely there. Runners on the corners and Tom Truelove ready to step in.
Yeah, brave play by Ismail Adra, the shortstop for Cronulla. A lot of range and almost got it in the mitt. Wasn't going to be able to perform any sort of play, though. Was always going to be a base hit. But what he would have done, we would have held Tate at second base and kept a force at third and a possible double play in play. They will be interesting to see whether or not they give up the run for a double play here in the early stages of this game.
So how would you score that one, PMAC?
Base hit to 8.
Base hit to 8.
Okay.
Answering on behalf of PMAC.
Thank you.
Said that without moving your lips.
I've been told I'm a dummy.
Okay, Truelove steps back in again now. Awaits the next pitch from Alex Tex Brook. Strike called. Good crowd in for this second grade game, obviously warming up for the first grade excitement later on. First grade scheduled start time is 7:30 tonight.
Game 2 of the preliminary final series. Game 1 going to the MacArthur Orioles on Wednesday night.
Big result for MacArthur. They need it. They topped the table, I think, most of the season and club champions.
They were by far and away the best team in first grade all season and by a mile in front in club championship. I think it was wrapped up about at Christmas time, the club championship. Yes, they were that far in front.
Yeah, they jumped out of the blocks early. They established a really good lead across all grades. Now Truelove took a big swing at that last one. Awaiting the next pitch. Brook has a look at his runners. Oh, well put ground ball. Goes to second base. They'll try to turn the double play. Cannot make it. But they get the runner out. Brendan Lower goes down on that for the first out. They're sliding into second base, but he gets tagged out real early. Cannot make a double play, but it does drive Brett Tate across the plate for the first run of the game. Ryde Hawks lead this by 1-0 now in the top of the second innings.
Well, that's where I was interested to see whether or not Cronulla would have tried to turn a double play to give up the run. They were happy to do that, but they couldn't get the double play. A well-placed ball by Tommy Truelove. He kept it on the right side of the diamond, protected that runner, Bet Tate at third base. He scores comfortably, and Ryde will play from the front.
Chris Dutton steps in now.
Oh, trouble, hit and run, line driven straight at Marakovic. He plucked it like plucking cherries, and then poor old Tom Truelove was left in no man's land. The line drive, he froze all right, but when you freeze 10 yards down the line, you're no chance of getting back. He gets doubled up. They will turn a double play and get out of it, Cronulla, but not before Ryde do a little bit of damage, and they will. And welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park. You're here with the Summer of Baseball crew, and we're heading to the bottom of the second innings. First pitch, you see hit there by Gates out to right field, tailing around. No mistake from Matt Nixon on this occasion. He comes up with the catch. So one pitch, one out here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that's a good start. As you said, Nick Gates takes that first one very, very strong. And Bobby Montgomery, cheerio call. No problem at all, Bobby. Happy to play some music for you. Big shout out. Nick Gates out on that fly ball. And wow, that's a drive down the third base side by Connor Casey. And it is taken off to the deep left corner. He will stand up at second base. What a great rip by the left-hander. Opposite field, straight down the line, closer to third base than anywhere. Jake Clinch didn't have a chance of getting to it. It took off 100 kilometres an hour, I reckon. It was a fast one.
That's why they call it the hot corner. That ball was ripped down the line, and as you say, Clinch, no chance. A double for Casey, and Cronulla a chance to get this run back straight away here in the bottom of the second.
Absolutely. Runner in scoring position, and Nick Coughlin coming to the plate for the Sharkies. Let's see what Coughlin can do. Can he back it up? Can he drive Connor Casey in? Number 8 in the batting order. Very often you see the bottom end of the batting lineup really do a job, especially early days in a game like this. They want their spot. Let's see what Coughlin can do. He sets up well. Kento Camioreso on the mound for the Ryde Hawks. He's a very accomplished pitcher. As Big Cam said, he's had a lot of activity in first grade.
Oh, very nice play that from the shortstop, Adra. Sorry, Yun Camioreso. So I've got to turn the sheet over.
Yun Camioreso, I'll do it.
Got to get into the bottom half of the inning.
He got it across to Brett Tate, and they got that out on the 6-3 play. And that's how that goes in the book against Nick Coughlin. So that's the second out now, and it moves Connor Casey around to third base. It's a little bit closer to home plate, but there's 2 out here in the bottom of the second inning, and Ryde Hawks leading the Cronulla Sharks by 1-0. It's an opportunity here for Cronulla to square the scoreboard up. Max Marakovic at the plate now. Second baseman for the Sharkies, Marakovic. Camioreso comes straight to the plate into the zone, and he gets one through Marakovic. They level the scoreboard. Connor Casey crosses there as Marakovic drives that run in and gets a single out to centre field. It's good work, Max Marakovic. Single to position 8, centre field. Hard hit ground ball. They all count though. So the scoreboard goes to 1 apiece. 1 to Ryde, 1 to the Cronulla Sharks. Only 2 out here. We go back to the top of the order through Christian Angelis. Waits patiently. Camioreso comes to the plate. Fouled off. Might have heard a little bit of a clunk earlier, boys. It was when I looked out the door to pick up the play at first base. Microphone hit the door, not my head.
Oh, so your head's okay?
Yeah, it's fine, thanks. Well, a lot of people would say not.
How's the microphone?
One runner on. Angelis checks that runner out at first so he doesn't get too much of a lead, reminding him he's there as he rips it foul down the third base side. Right down near the Ryde bullpen. A little bit of activity down there, just a little bit of stretching and rolling arms over. Bottom of the second inning here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where you're listening to the Summer Baseball team broadcasting for Sports Broadcasting Australia. As we said earlier in the third grade game, an excellent day of baseball here and excellent conditions as well, as Angelis goes down on swinging strikes. K2 for the third out, and the scoreboard remains the same. 3 out there, Angelis becomes that third out.
Broadcasting Australia's Summer of Baseball, bringing you all the action on Grand Final Day here in the State Baseball League into the top of the third inning. And leading things off for the Ryde Hawks will be Michael Coughlin.
Interesting lineups here as Coughlin waits for the next pitch from Alex Brook. He's got some power behind his pitches, has Brook. Lifts that high. Will it go to left field side? Going back on it, shortstop Ismail Adra. He calls his left fielder off. Nick Coughlin can't get to it. It was Ismail Adra, I think, that took that one.
Yeah.
Outfielder usually gets the priority call, but Adra called it twice. Said he's got it covered, so he took that catch. High fly ball to the left side, but it goes in the scorebook as a fly ball to position 6.
Yeah, the third baseman, Angelis, had absolutely no idea where that went. He was looking straight into the sun. Good thing that Adra picked it up. Coughlin came forward from left field as well, but Adra all over it for the out.
So at the plate now is Yun Camiraso. Brothers, of course, the pitcher and the shortstop. They work together as a team as well as being brothers. They know each other's movements pretty well. They've been a big benefit to the Ryde Club over the last few years that they've been there as well.
Hasn't had the greatest of seasons with the bat in second grade, Yun, but he's doing what he can. He's had 15 at-bats with an average of 133.
Oh, okay, it is low.
I don't think he's played a lot of second grade. Playing mainly first grade and maybe a little bit lower.
Yeah. So Brooks sets up again. He's got one out here in the top of the third inning already. He's got a good work rate. Rolls it over fairly quickly. He doesn't take a lot of time between pitches. A lot of guys will get up there on the hill and have a lot of thinking about it all and try to work it all out.
What's there to think about? You got a baseball, throw it at the plate.
As we said earlier in the third grade game, catchers often go out and tell the pitcher to stop thinking. Not a requirement of pitching, just do what I say.
Should be no thinking on the mound.
So a walk issued there for Yun Camiraso. Base on balls. So one out, one on, and that takes us back to the top of the order with the first batter, Jake Clinch. And Brooke tries to get that outside edge. He's working hard to get outside edges all the time in the right-handers. Just tries to paint down the black side of the home plate, which I can hardly see. Actually, there's a bit of dirt over the plate. Might need a little bit of a brush, I think, after this batter, or between innings at least.
Oh, got him in all sorts of trouble. Pick off.
Well, there's a problem. Loose ball. He's out, all right. Somebody's going to have to give us the lucky numbers on that one.
Easy. 1, 3, 4, 3.
So 1 to 3 to 4 to 3.
Well done, PMAC. Always good on the lotto numbers as Yun Camiraso gets down attempting to steal base.
We have replays.
Our research department helping us in the background there. It's gone shy. So Clinch gets bat to ball in the next one and rips it up the middle. Ground ball to centre field. Jake Clinch gets that next pitch and hits it hard. So a single to position 8 centre field. He gets himself on first base after his runner at first getting thrown out there in a rundown.
Yeah, that hurts when as I said, when your runner just gets nailed, doesn't it? Your batter comes up next pitch and just drives one straight up the middle.
Yep, exactly. To centre field, he would have been 2 runners on base for the Ryde Hawks, but not to be. 2 out it is in the top of the third inning, and James Murphy at the plate. So good crowd behind them. A lot of activity in the dugouts. Everybody up on the fence. Let's see what Alex Brook and Nick Gates can work out here. The battery for the Cronulla Sharks. Goes down there again. They try to get the runner wrong-footed again at first base, but Clinch slides back down and dirty. Murphy obviously getting his signals from third base coach, and he steps back into the plate with a 1-1 count. 1 ball and 1 strike. High and out of the zone, that one. Gee, just a bit of loose glove work there at Ismail Adra. There's a couple he's knocked down, couldn't quite glove them. If he can clean up that glove work, he could probably get an out, especially on that play. Wasn't too bad a throw from Nick Gates, and probably entitled to take that cleanly. Might have been a fraction low, but not very much. Murphy waits again. Ismail Adra just looking at the second shortstop there. Ismail Adra having a chat to the batter runner, Jake Clinch. Sorry, the runner out there on second base. It's almost, he gets right up behind him and has a word with him. He looks at him and they're having a conversation about what they're going to do tomorrow, I think. Or later tonight, one or the other. He's not afraid to say a few words, Adra. Struck out looking, James Murphy. You saw it, fastball straight down the pipe. Murphy turns around, heads for the dugout. He's just got frozen on the fastball. That's the end of the top half of the third innings with Ryde.
Park. We're heading to the bottom of the third inning, and Adra is in the batter's box for Cronulla. On the mound, Kento Camioreso. You're here with the Summer of Baseball broadcast crew. Big Cam Hickson here with you. Paul Harradine on lead commentary, and we welcome back to the microphone again for another stint here in this second grade grand final. Matt Givon, as we see a line drive straight at James Murphy. Adra out. Welcome back, Matt.
Thank you very much, Cam. How are you, mate?
Getting weary. It's been an early start for all of us this morning to get out here and the boys to set up all the equipment and everything and get it all ready to go. And
how was your golf?
Yeah, no, let's not talk about that.
Oh.
Better left unsaid. Not one of the greater rounds I've played, let's put it that way. So Darren Phillips to the box now for the Cronulla Sharks, and he takes first pitch, fouls it off straight back to the screen. And this game currently locked at 1 run apiece. Ryde and Cronulla struggling for supremacy here in the second grade grand final. We are in the bottom of the third inning. No runners on, 1 out. Phillips in the box with a strike on him.
Dazzle lifts one high again there, Cam.
Yeah, into shallow left field. Coming forward, Michael Coughlin for the comfortable catch.
In his first plate appearance, Darren Phillips hit to right field side to get on base from an error.
Yeah, it looked like the right fielder was drifting towards the ball and sort of just got a little bit lazy on it and come out of the glove.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You get a bit too confident under there and you think, I've already got this, and lose your concentration at that last second.
And you only get one grand final.
Thankfully, it didn't cost them anything at that stage, so he'll be relieved about that as Cole Smith takes the first pitch for a called strike.
Both teams have been very aggressive with the bat.
Certainly have. They came out swinging early, didn't they, in the first inning? Both of them are doing a very, very good job. Hawks and
Cole Smith just drills one straight at shortstop Kamiari, so he'll be gone. So he goes down on a line drive 6, and that's all she wrote here in the bottom of the third inning. So we are done through 3 completed innings here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where it is Cronulla and Ryde, 1 run apiece in this second grade grand final.
Sports Park, where we are in the middle of the second grade grand final of the New South Wales State Baseball League. Ground ball there from Nixon straight away. First pitch off to the second baseman, Max Marakovic, and he gets a ground ball out there across to his first baseman, Jaden Cavill. Regulation ground ball to second base there by Matt Nixon, and he's out. 1 up, 1 down for the Ryde Hawks on a 4-3 ground ball. So Matt Nixon didn't muck around. Not many pitches here in each of the innings. Matt Juven mentioned earlier that we're going to get an innings that takes more than 9 pitches because they've been turning them around real quick, eh, Matt?
Mate, I understand the aggressiveness, grand final, but mate, I would be seeing some pitches and at least making the pitcher work for his innings.
It's only 7 innings, so take a lot out of them. They've only got 1 shoulder and 1 elbow. Might as well use it up.
Well, yeah. Not my way of coaching, but mate, I'd be...
So Brett Tate is the batter at the plate for the Ryde Hawkies now.
It looks like Ryde have a plan, and it looks like to jump on Alex Brook nice and early.
I think so.
But obviously, it's not paying off for him at the moment.
Well, a one-all ball game. Nobody has the advantage. It might as well be 0-0 or 10-10. It doesn't really matter. There's nothing in this game. Tate steps in again. He's the 4th batter in the lineup, so he's your clean-up man, really. He is the batter that scored the first run.
Alex looks like he's in a very good rhythm.
He does, doesn't he? He's got a really good style about him, and he's pitching at his own pace.
Very
and that's
comfortable.
Working quickly and comfortably, you're right. Couldn't have put it better.
He's a good young kid too.
Very important. It's one of the things that baseball looks at is not only can you play, but are you a good person?
I think attitude, and he demands the ball back to him. Looks very comfortable on the mound. and he throws with a purpose.
Every pitch with a purpose, and he looks confident when he does it.
Very confident.
His
And
body language is always strong.
looks very good, and obviously he's pretty comfortable throwing there with Nick Gates behind the dish.
So we look at this next pitch come through and misses maybe off the edge and down a little low, I think.
I think
So-
it missed the black.
Yeah, certainly did that. Base on balls issued for Brett Tate. His first time he got on base was a wild throw. So, and that was from Max Marakovic across to Jaden Cavill. Didn't quite get there, missed Cav completely. So Tate now at first base. Ryde Hawks with the runner on yet again. Brendan Lower comes to the plate. So far, Ryde have only left one runner on base through 3 innings, and Cronulla Sharks have left 3 on base.
I think one of the key things here for Ryde is to start getting the runners in motion.
Yeah, be aggressive on their base paths, and there's one out now at first. And safe at first, trying to turn the double play. That was a line drive down to Christian Angelis at third base. He turned that across to, I think it was Max Marakovic, wasn't it, at second base?
Yeah,
or was it Ismail Adra?
Ismail Adra's having a bit of a chat to the runner.
They're checking it out, aren't they? But they certainly got the out there on Brett Tate.
I think Az is out there now having a chat.
Just saying the runner didn't get out of his way, didn't give him an option to be throwing at first base.
I think
Yeah.
Az is looking at the trying to get the second out. It's not going to happen.
So it was a 5-6 out, that one, wasn't it, on the charging Brett Tate? So I think Adra got in there. Yeah, thank you. Research department doing a good job there, watching the replay. Now Brendan Lower safely at first base, stands there on a fielder's choice. So Christian Angelis did a good job, heads up baseball there, trying to attempt the first half of the double play, which they got, couldn't complete the second half of the double play, but there are 2 out here in the top of the 4th innings on the Ryde Hawks. Tom Truelove is at the plate. So the cool, calm and collected Alex Brook looks in, not fazed by the runner at first. Although he's keeping him honest, has a look over the shoulder before he throws that pitch to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Truelove.
One thing I actually have noticed from Ryde is that there's no Ardills present.
Oh, none down there at all. That is interesting. Usually floating around, somewhere involved in the game.
Phil is
Thrower.
listed on the reserves lists.
Okay.
Okay.
Greg nowhere to be sighted as far as I can tell.
The stolen base by Brendan Lower gets him into scoring position at second.
Yeah, Greg not on any of the lineups that I can see, but Phil definitely on the reserves lists.
Okay. You're probably maybe sitting back in the dugout there for the time being. We're in the top of the 4th innings, just about halfway through the game with 2 out. And there's a rip line drive down to the third baseman, Christian Angelis. And that is a brilliant third out there. He just had to squat down. The ball basically went straight to him. He had to put his glove down, but just get it a bit lower. So he just did the squat and took that catch nicely on a hard hit line drive down the third base side. That brings up the 3rd out against the Ryde Hawks in the top half of the 4th innings. And we'll be back shortly for the bottom of the 4th innings after this short break.
Well, I'm a scrubber, runner, and a breaker too. I live on Denver and the Wallaby Stew. I got a big cattle dog and a staghound cross, and I never saw the scrubber. Oh, we couldn't toss, 'cause I'm the fella from Connemara. Yes, I'm the Connemara fella. Now, once when I was driving on the cattle trail, I met a little girl, her name was Ada Bell. I said, marry me, Ada, and I'll be the fella, and we'll sit down in Hog until I reach Duranbendy. I'm the dandy at Duranbendy. Yes, I'll be the Duranbendy dandy. Now in my moleskin trousers and my Williams boots, aboard an outlaw as he leaves the chute. In my gooseneck spurs I rate that fiery hide, and the girls all shouting around the ringside.
Welcome back to the Summer of Baseball, broadcasting for Sports Broadcasting Australia from Blacktown International Sports Park. We are in the middle of the second grade grand final of State League Baseball New South Wales, and first pitch hit there from Jaden Cavill, and he's out on a ground ball to shortstop.
How many first pitch rollers have we seen?
It's
here
crazy.
We're into the fourth innings, and it must be 2 an inning almost.
Absolutely crazy baseball by the look of this. And it's both clubs want to be aggressive. Well, I think there's a time when they're going to have to settle. It's a 1-all ball game. Somebody's going to have to get the smarts about them now and start being a bit strategic.
We're halfway through the ball game.
Exactly.
And they're still full on aggression.
I think there's a difference between being aggressive and then trying to take the game to that next level of actually trying to play from in front.
Yep.
But I think what both teams are not doing is putting the ball in play on good pitches.
And that's the key. You're right, Matt. We've got Nick Gates at the plate now, the catcher for the Cronulla Sharks. Let's see if he can calm things down and take a few pitches out of Kento Camiroso. Very economical for both of these pitches today.
I don't think we've had a 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count on one batter.
No, can't recall it. Camiroso drives one into the plate now and only to be fouled off over the first base side. One out here in the bottom of the fourth innings. Sharks from Cronulla and the Hawks from Ryde. A 1-1 scoreline. An arm wrestle being allowed to be controlled by the two pitchers.
Both Apex Predators.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Nick Gates. $7:30 tonight for the first grade preliminary final game 2 in State League Baseball.
And we have our first full count.
You said it. Curse of the commentator. You started it, Matt.
Well, you know, someone's got to go deep in a count somewhere.
Gates waiting for the full count pitch. Here it comes. He splits him. No, yes, he does. He splits it to left field. Splits third base and shortstop. Clinch and Yun Camiroso. He gets the ball right through the middle of them out to Michael Coughlin in left field. So Gates on first base with a single to position 7. And for those viewers out here that are enjoying the game, or any viewer that's out there at all, if you wanted to send us a message and tell us who you're supporting out of this game, the SMS number is 0423 551 195. Send us a message, we'll give you a shout out.
Another first pitch.
Absolutely lifted high fly ball to left field side. Caught well. Run down by Michael Coughlin brilliantly on a really high fly ball and a hard hit. First pitch from Connor Casey. Out on a fly ball to position 7. The runner can't go anywhere. He's still stranded at first base. And there are now 2 out.
So what's that tell you, guys? We've had 2 first pitches in this innings and 1 full count. The full count got a base hit. The 2 first pitches both got out.
Yeah, exactly.
Be patient. Just take a couple of pitches.
Pick your pitch.
So now for the Sharks, it's Nick Coughlin at the plate. Pick-off attempt. Coughlin getting his signals. Up the third base side and steps back in. I was just going to mention the lead with the runner at first base. It wasn't an extremely long lead, that one, just back easily. Down and dirty though, as you should. So Kento Camiroso on the mound Just basically keeping the runner honest, letting him know that he's still aware that he's there and he doesn't want him to get away, even with 2 out.
Pitch out.
The runner goes. They go for it. Oh, and he's put the ball down. Wow, Yun Camioreso out there at shortstop. Could not tidy that ball up.
They guessed it right. They believed the runner was going and they got him. As you heard Matt call, they pitched out, but not a great throw from Brendan Lower. Sort of half-top Camioreso, and he just couldn't glove it. They got it there in plenty of time, but Camioreso dropped it, and Gates in with the extra bag.
Wow, that was close to Coughlin. I thought it might have hit him on the arm there on the way through, but it did not. In fact, it was a ball. So the count on Nick Coughlin is 2 balls only. 2 balls, no strikes, with a runner now in scoring position at second base in the form of Nick Gates. Can Coughlin drive the runner in? Rips one foul over the first base grandstand. Good facility out here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Bit of nice green grass out there for the weekend.
Yeah, it's actually nice to see the diamond looking pristine again. Obviously it's had a bit of water in it, and it's we're going to check the swing.
Catcher Brendan Lower checking a swing on that, but the bat didn't come off his shoulder. I can tell you now, he just twisted trying to avoid that fastball coming at him.
Yeah, there was more self-preservation rather than anything else.
Absolutely. It was let me get out of the way.
Actually, I was having a chat to Cam earlier about the ground, and it actually doesn't look too bad. Obviously with the ABL season now over.
And it's not in the heat of summer. Sometimes in the middle of summer without enough water it'll brown off just a little bit. But it's in great condition for this grand final day here, where we've seen the under-18s decided for the season, 3rd grade and now 2nd grade, a real arm wrestle. Coughlin steps back in. He's taken some pitches out of Camioreso now.
It's the first Cronulla player to do so.
He pops that up. Right field side. Will it stay fair? No, foul by a long way.
Wind here at Blacktown blowing in from sort of left field in towards home plate, so anything that goes up on that right side is going to tail hard towards the right field line and out of play, and so that fly ball just popping out of the way. Another full count pitch in the dirt, and that will walk Coughlin.
Looks like the full counts seem to be working.
Hallelujah.
That's why you got to stay patient out there now. Take a pitch, take a strike even. Just hang out there until he throws a strike at you.
Now Cronulla Sharks starting a bit of a rally with 2 out here. They've got 2 runners on. Time called by the Ryde coach. He's coming out to have a chat with his pitcher.
Pitching visit.
Interesting. Now the strategy starts.
And do we have the 9 batter?
Yeah, the 9 batter in the box. Yep.
So for me, I'd just be telling the guy just to pound the strike, say 9 batter.
Blow him away.
Blow him away. 3 fastballs. Given Cronulla's record of swinging at first pitches.
Do you think that's what the pitching coach has told him?
If it was me, I would be.
Messages go after him.
Well, Marakovic ripped one back up the middle for a base hit his last time.
Single to 8.
Yep, into straight back up the centre. So we'll see what he does this time if they try to pound away at him.
Well, that might have been the message. Stay around the edges. Don't go through the middle because he loves it there.
I'm going straight at him.
Yep. Okay. Gets him on the inside. In on the hands. Marakovic didn't judge that well.
Now high fastball followed by an outside curveball.
Cam's called it.
You've backed him away from the plate. Come up on him.
Climb the ladder.
Yep. Come up on him and then go away with a breaking pitch of some description.
Scare at second base there. Pick off called by the shortstop. His brother says, go away. Had the runner thinking anyway. And that runner is Nick Gates.
Gatesy runs pretty well, so you'd want to be keeping him close.
Yeah, trying to hold him up. That pitch high inside just backs Marakovic off the plate a little.
The bonus the two Camiariso brothers have is that they can speak to each other in a language totally foreign to Nick Gates out there.
I guess they can. There's the fastball outside edge to get another strike.
Curveball, Cam.
I would be going it now.
2 out, 9th batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I'd be going outside with it. If I miss, I'd be coming back inside with a fastball.
If he misses, it's just simply another ball.
He's going inside with the fastball, it looks like.
Missed outside fastball.
Yeah, crossed
Crossed
up
him
his
up.
catcher. His catcher leant all the way to the inside edge of the plate looking for something inside and then had to duck to the outside to catch it.
Last thing they need now is a pass ball.
Correct.
2-2 pitch coming from Camiariso to Marakovic. Brendan Lara is working overtime to get an out here. He's appealing for everything. He desperately wants this out.
Right, aren't taking too many more chances. They're making sure their arms are warm in the bullpen.
Tex reminds me of a wicket keeper. Appeals for everything.
Oh, ripped by Marakovic to centre left field. That's going to score 2 runs easily and probably a triple for Marakovic. Batter number 9 in the lineup, slides into third base safely, gets his hands on the bag and drives in 2 big, important runs for the Cronulla Sharkies. Absolutely sensational batting. Kento Camiariso put that pitch in the wheelhouse for Marakovic and he took care of it.
Looking at the outfielders, they looked like they were actually playing the shift to the right side.
And they were in.
And they were a long way in.
Yeah, Marakovic comes up big again.
Triple.
Had a hit in the second inning, his first at-bat to drive in the run. Now he drives in 2 more, so he has all of the RBIs for Cronulla so far. He's driven in all 3 runs.
Once again, full count and damage is done.
Yep.
Deep into the count.
Yep, threw him a fastball on the full count pitch and paid the penalty.
Oh, there's another one off the first pitch now. High fly ball. Centre field gets under it. Tommy Truelove gets the out from Ryde there. So they do shut this down, but not until after the Cronulla Sharks have scored 2 big, very important runs here. It is a big innings for the Sharks here, getting 2. They now lead this game by 3 runs to 1 after 4 completed innings from Blacktown International Sports Park. It is a big afternoon of baseball. Ryde have got to do all the work now to fight their way back.
inning with Cronulla after that bottom of the fourth taking a 3-1 lead over the Ryde Hawks. Ryde Hawks got plenty to do, and Chris Dutton in the batter's box for the Hawks.
It will be interesting to see what changes Ryde make to their batting style, if they change at all here. Chris Dutton, the designated hitter, is there for a reason. That is to get on base. Line drive, centre field, out on the second pitch.
Second pitch.
Second, yep.
So no change in batting strategy there, except that they put the designated hitter up and said, your job is to get on base and hit the ball. But he needs to get on base. One up, one down here, top of the fifth innings for a Ryde.
Be very interested to see the pitch counts for both pitches.
Not many and not many more. Although Ryde were motioning frantically to their bullpen in that last inning, and unfortunately for them, it was too little too late, because Kento Camileriso had the damage done to him. I say we may not see him go back out.
I think you're right, Cam.
I know Matt O'Neill and one of the other Ryde boys went tearing up to the bullpen.
Well, yet to be seen. Michael Coughlin is the batter at the plate now for our viewers out there, and drives one down the third base side. Hard hit ground ball, and it will be a 5-3 out with a great throw across the diamond by Christian Angelis. And the Sharks snap another Ryde Hawk.
Some 2 pitches.
Yep. Away we go again. Sharks are on the attack big time.
So we've had 4 pitches, 2 outs. Let's see if Jordan makes any adjustment, or is he going to be just as aggressive?
2 up, 2 down. Ewan Camileriso stepping into the plate, as Matt just alluded to, is the 9th batter in the Ryde lineup. Can he match what Marakovic did for Cronulla?
Well, at least he's taken a strike, if nothing else.
1 pitch and he's still there. Steps back in. No changes in the defensive lineup from Cronulla, as we can see. Big swing and a miss on that one. Wow.
Left nothing back on that swing.
There's a big swat.
Way behind Alex's fastball.
It's interesting when a batter tries to beat the fastball pitcher, isn't it? It's like sometimes they're a couple of days late. Like that one. And Brooke just blows one past Camileriso to strike him out.
7
9th
pitch
batter in
inning.
the lineup. Bang, bang, bang. And away he's gone. So 3 out there. And it's Jun Camileriso that goes down on strikes. Big swinging strikes. K2, at least he gave it a battle, but wasn't able to help the side to get another run or runner on the diamond. And changes coming up right now. The coach over with the umpire making those changes. final stages of the second grade Baseball New South Wales State League Grand Final Championship game. And leading off for the Cronulla Sharks here in the bottom of the fifth innings is the shortstop Ismail Adra. For the Cronulla Sharks, they lead this game by 3 runs to 1 over the Ryde Hawks. And there is a change to the defensive lineup for the Ryde Hawks. In centre field, Tom Truelove is out, and they've brought in Harry Mahoney, number 54 in centre field. Harry Mahoney, sometimes it's pronounced Marnie, but Harry Mahoney out there in centre field for Tom Truelove. We believe it was a straight swap. Second pitch is hit there by Adra. It's a high fly ball. 3 players calling for it. Second baseman gets it, James Murphy. Yun Kamiareso was there. Harry Mahoney was there. James Murphy called them both off and said, I've got this one covered, boys. Leave it to me. And he takes a great catch there off Ismail Adra's bat. So fly ball position 4, it goes down in the scorebook as. And for the Cronulla Sharks, it is 1 up, 1 down, bottom of the 5th inning.
Obviously now Darren Phillips up.
Yeah, Big Daz hits the first pitch, drives it foul.
Very aggressive flip, so you know what you're going to get from him.
Yep.
Yeah, generally it's three fairly decent hacks, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's whether or not he lays bat on one, and if he does, it's coming to you hard.
He's in there as the designated hitter quite clearly, and that's what he intends to do. Don't forget, if you would like to send us a message or communicate with us, whether you're enjoying the broadcast, which team you're following, which player you're supporting. The contact number is swing and a miss from Phillips there. 0423 55 1195. That's 0423 55 1195.
See it right there on your screen, flashing up in the middle of your screen. Send us an SMS, say g'day.
Wide and low off the plate there for Kento Camiroso. As mentioned in the previous innings, there were Ryde pitches warming up, but haven't been used as yet. It's only a 7 innings game. So Phillips rips one down the third base side. Well hit there from Darren Phillips. And he drives it deep down towards the corner. Retrieved by Michael Coughlin in left field there for Ryde. And Phillips stands safely at first base with a single to position 7.
Be interesting to see if they use a pinch runner here.
Well,
it doesn't look like it.
In the 5th innings, 2 more to go.
You might get another at bat.
Yep.
Like I say, with you being in front, if he had been behind, absolutely. Yeah. But being 2 runs in front, I think you'll leave him in.
He's been up every second inning. And I guess if they get to the 7th and he comes round again, it might be important. They might have a few runners on base.
If Ryde don't score 2 more runs, he won't get it. Won't get it back in the 7th. They won't have to worry about it. They'll be holding the trophy up by the time he's due back to the plate.
Cole Smith at the plate there, left-handed hitter. He's had a walk in his first appearance and a line drive straight into the glove of shortstop in his second appearance. Hard hit ball though. Pitch missing inside. Wow. Ryde have got their backs to the wall, but it is only 2 runs difference.
You've got a couple of guys in the dugout swinging some bats, and
they just need to get people on base and put a bit of pressure back on Cronulla if they intend getting back into the game.
Totally agree. You know, it's hit run.
I don't know about that throw from first baseman Brent Tate. Wow. He got the easy out at first base with the put out. It was hit hard to him. He was holding the runner on, and the ball was hit straight at him, so he was easy to be able to just to grab it and step on first base. But then he just wheeled around, basically blindly around his body, and fired a ordinary throw at Yun Kamiareso, who did a good job to block it. That ends up in left field, or even in centre left. Phillips is at third with 2 out.
So time called by Ryde. Another visit here to have a chat with Kento Camiroso. Let's see if they do make that pitching change that we suspected.
Wouldn't imagine so, because as
They weren't stretching or
saying,
rolling over.
all the bullpen throwers have sat back down again. They were up throwing when Matt O'Neill and let's see who else. It might have been Luke Parrish went charging up to the bullpen from the Ryde dugout, but they've all since sat down and relaxed again.
Yeah, very odd, and they haven't rolled their arm over since. Jaden Cavill coming to the plate.
I have seen this from Ryde before. It was earlier in the season when they were playing against MacArthur, actually. And they just put all their faith in Kento. They just seems to keep rolling over the innings. I'm not sure why, but...
It's a big roll of the dice in a grand final. There's nothing after this.
Well, he's pitched in 6 games this season in second grade and thrown 3 complete games. So
there's no doubt he can do it.
He's got a record of 4-1 with an ERA of 2.8.
But in this situation, do they need to change something? What do they change? So Cavill calls a runner across. So Darren Phillips now stands at third base, ever so much closer.
Pitch that was down in the dirt, really should have been blocked by Lower. He should have got really down on it and just smothered it. And smothered it up and made sure that nothing was happening. But it gets through him. And as you say now, Phillips at third, 90 feet away, and a hit from Cavill, which this isn't going to be. Well fielded by Clinch. Long throw. Do they make the tag? Yes, they do. The throw dragged Tate off the bag a little bit, but he was good enough to catch it, make the tag, and get rid of Cavill. Tough play for Jake Clinch. If that gets past him, another run scores, and that might have been all she wrote for Ryde. But the longest throw possible on the diamond for the third baseman, and he made it pretty well. Got it across there early enough that Tate was able to catch it, make the tag, and get rid of Cavill. So that is 5 in the books. We're heading to the top of the 6th, and it is the Cronulla Sharks leading the Ryde Hawks by 3-1. Back shortly. By 2, they are back to the top of their lineup. Jake Clinch in the batter's box.
And we just saw Clinch in that final out, making a great play from over the foul line. He drives one foul down the third base side himself. Jake Clinch, the lead off in the starting lineup for the Ryde Hawks. So they might as well be starting again here in the top of the 6th innings. They're at the top of their order. Let's see if they can do what they have needed to do all game. Get runners on base and then try and create some runs. Trailing by 2. It's not a big lead, but there are only 2 innings left. In the top half of their inning, they're only 6 outs away.
Cole Smith has gone to the first base, I believe.
Yep, number 3, Cole Smith.
And Clinch down on strikes. So Ryde again, 1 up, 1 down. Jake Clinch striking out.
Which means we need a new centre
We've got
fielder.
a change. Does that mean Jaden Cavill has come out of the game?
Yep. I think after being thrown out at first base, he wasn't very happy about things. And blamed it on his equipment. And that might have been enough for the coach to pull him.
So Big Cam will check out who's in centre field.
I just need him to turn around, Harrow. He just needs to turn around once
Need
for
a
us.
number on him. Well, if James Murphy hits the ball far enough, he might have to chase it to the fence.
I just want to
It's about the only way he's going to turn around.
turn his back once. Charge in about 5 or 6 and then turn around. I can tell you he's a lefty, if that helps.
There is some activity in the Cronulla bullpen.
And in the Ryde bullpen as well, surprisingly enough. Murphy takes one foul again.
There we go, he turned around for me. Number 23.
That can't be Jaden Cavill in the bullpen, can it?
It can be as a catcher, not as a pitcher.
Unless there's been other changes.
23 for Cronulla.
Another pitch missing there. Nobody on base, so no damage done. James Murphy leaves that one well alone.
That'll be blank from not Jaden.
It does look like Blake Cavill.
Jack Lee is your centre fielder.
As Murphy fouls another one off.
Jack Lee is the number 23, is the centre fielder for Cronulla.
Okay, that's Cole Smith moving to first base from centre field. Replaced by Jack Lee.
Jaden Cavill out of the game.
Top of the 6th inning.
Yeah,
James Murphy taking some pitches here.
Yeah, it's obviously Ryde have decided to take some pictures and see what happens.
Ground ball to second base, regulation out, ground ball to second. Marakovic gets the ball to Smith and they get that ground ball out. On James Murphy they go 2 up, 2 down.
I think both teams are very aggressive. You know, they both are free swingers. And look, we'll see that again in first grade. Both teams are free swingers.
Yeah, good point.
They haven't got this far. Why not hitting the ball? So
yeah, I guess so, but usually get a result.
Exactly.
The lefty steps in. That's Matt Nixon, the right fielder for the Ryde Hawks. Can he get something going?
First pitch.
Big rip. Centre field's under it. There's a man out there, that's for sure. He chased it down well. Jack Lee did a sensational job. A big run. Took it right off the bat. Tracked it all the way to his glove for a great running catch in centre field. That was a very hard hit ball from Matt Nixon. It's as good as you could want. But I'll tell you what, Jack Lee was better for it. He got across there and took that without moving his eyes away from that ball whatsoever. And he ran at 100% to get underneath it. Well done, well chased down, Jack Lee. But the Ryde Hawks in the top of the 6th innings go 3 up and 3 down. And that doesn't help them get on the scoreboard. It is still 3 runs to 1 in favour of the Cronulla Sharks.
I can't put too much of a curse on them unless they score 2 runs and we go to extras. But hey, I've done that before to teams, so we'll see how we go as Connor Casey takes the first pitch he sees for a ball. It is 3 runs to 1. Cronulla lead Ryde here in the second grade grand final.
We've got a pinch hitter, 75. That'll be, who will that be? Number 75 for Cronulla.
I will bring it up for you in one moment. I have all the team lists here for them. 75 is Jack Brogan.
Jack Brogan. Steps in for Connor Casey. Missing inside that time, Camuraso. No change of pitches through 7 innings. As I said, regular season games, most of them are only going 7 innings anyhow. So not a lot of fielding changes either. There's a few this late in the game. Give some of the guys a chance that have contributed to the team during the year, no doubt. Jack Brogan fouls one off there. We're in the bottom of the 6th innings. Cronulla holding all the cards here. Hawks battling to try and get runs. They need to shut down Cronulla's attack though. Cronulla looking to build some insurance.
Yeah, Cronulla just really would like to get through this innings and get into the ride in the top of the 7th and end it. I don't think they're too concerned about what happens in this inning. It's one of those, bottom of an innings where it's a real nothing. If you get a run, well, fantastic. You'd love another run or 2. But if you don't get one, I don't think you're too worried either. You want to bounce out in that field and get those 3 outs and lift the trophy.
Cam, the more runs you have, the better.
A swinging 3rd strike on Jack Brogan, picked up out of the dirt by Brendan Lauer, and a lower throws up there to first base to get rid of him on the drop K2-3.
So what are you saying, Matt? Runs win games?
100%, mate.
more runs than your opposition. Yes,
mate. I've had ball games where I've had 3 or 4 runs in front, and teams have come back.
They come after you,
mate. It's grand final. You do not take the foot off the throat.
I can tell you the last game I played in, Matt, is a couple of years ago now when I retired. It was a 7-inning game. It was 25. My team was trailing 25-2 after 6.
No.
Stop it.
And got beat 25-24.
No.
After 7.
Sounds like a women's B grade they had here last weekend.
Now.
Oh.
No.
We're not that bad.
They had a women's B grade game that went for 5 hours and 5 minutes.
Yes, I did see that.
With a score of 32-31, I believe. The first inning went for an hour. Second inning went for 20 minutes. The third inning went for an hour and a half.
Ouch.
Nick Coughlin is at the plate for the Sharkies at the moment.
I can tell you our first 6 innings didn't take that long. The 7th might have.
Back up the middle.
Base hit.
Yes, it was actually a walk-off ball for walk.
Oh dear.
So we have a pinch runner.
Yeah, number 66 for Cronulla.
Good thing I've left their charts open. 66 is on page 2. 66 is Brad Richardson.
He's getting an opportunity to shine.
And up comes the number 9 hitter.
And still Max Marakovic.
Well, you wouldn't take him out of the game.
No,
he's driven in all their runs, hasn't he?
He has. He has driven in all 3 runs himself. With a runner out there as a chance to possibly drive in a 4th. He drove in both Nick Gates from second base and Nick Coughlin from first base the last time he came up with a triple.
Both on full counts.
So we'll see how he goes on this occasion.
Heads up baseball.
Smart. Very smart batter.
2 out. Runner on first.
Oh.
High chopper. Big chance.
And out at first on that play. The 1-3.
Spurway has punched him out.
Ouch.
3 out. 1-3 play.
Bloke's batting 1,000 for a day. The up throws him like that. Oh, that's tough.
Kento Camiroso gets off the hill and gets that ball across the diamond for the out. So bottom of 6th innings. Cronulla Sharks do not add to their score. They remain on 3 runs. They leave 1 on base. Now here's the stat for you. Through 6 innings, the Cronulla Sharkies have left 6 runners on base, as well as the 3 runs they've scored. So there you go. That's a big result. After 6 completed, there is a 1 inning to go, and Cronulla Sharks are 3 out.
Final between Ryde and Cronulla. Ryde are 2 runs down, and they are in the what we call the last shot saloon. This one chopped towards third baseman, backing up on it. Angelis comes up, balances up, fires the strike across the diamond to Cole Smith. There's one of the 3 outs Cronulla need. Tate, probably one of the leaders in this Ryde offense all season, goes down on the ground ball to third base, and Cronulla 1 step closer. They have changed pitches. Brook is out of the game. Blake Cavill on the mound to close this one out. And that will bring Lower to the plate. Cavill tries to find the outside edge frame nicely, but by Gates, but home plate umpire Nash having none of it.
Yeah, that's actually Phil Choi.
That's Phil Choi, is it? I'm sorry.
Nash is a little bit more good looking than
Well,
Phil.
I got to be careful what I say when it comes to umpires. That pitch misses inside.
Ben's actually played in first grade.
He's played in first grade. I did see his name on the plate list. That's why I just didn't remember where I saw it. First grade. There we go. Cavill, fastball in the dirt. 4 straight pitches. Lower walks. And the tying run comes to the plate for the Ryde Hawks.
Looks like we will have a pinch runner.
Yep, they certainly will. They're sending Mr. Ardle around. You're asking where he was?
There he is.
Phil Ardle onto first base for the Hawks.
Fresher legs than Texas. That's all it is.
And they're going to have a pinch hitter too. It looks like Nick Leahy's going to pinch hit. Yep, so Nick Leahy's going to come in and pinch hit for Harry Mahoney. I was wondering when they were going to insert Nick into the game. He is a very good hitter. He has been throwing some pitches, but on 15 at-bats is batting over 500 in second grade. Takes the pitch down from Cavill. Cavill struggling.
Sorry, Cam.
You're
I think the
Tommy
important,
Truelove.
I think the important thing here for Nick is to be very patient. Now, he needs to be very patient until
Absolutely.
Blake throws a strike.
Well, you've got to get into that hitter's count, the 2-1 or the 3-1. There's 1-1, so that's fine. So now you sit on fastball. If he throws your fastball, you go after it. What you've got to do is not swing at Blake Cavill's wicked slider.
That's
You
slider.
can't get sucked into that Cavill slider. It's a very good pitch. But Leigh has to be watching for that, has to be sitting on fastball. Runner goes. It's a strike straight down the middle, throws high, and underneath it slides Ardil. So Ardil swipes second base, but Leahy takes a strike at the plate. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Nick Leahy at the plate, and that's going to bring Andrew Azzopardi onto the mound to have a chat to Blake Cavill.
Wow. And this is where the pressure starts to turn now.
Well, are they talking about intentionally walking Leahy, not letting him swing the bat at all to set them into a force for a double play on Dutton, who is 0 for 2 for the day?
Phil Ardil figures time wasn't called, he's taking third base.
He ain't taking it for long because time wasn't called. I suppose
He's a funny guy.
It's worth a try.
He's a funny guy.
Grand final. Why not?
And this is where we can see the mind games and the great strategy when you have games that come down to this. You can see that Cronulla are obviously working on a plan. Matt O'Neill and the Ryde coaching staff are doing the same thing. They've got extra players up swinging bats, just in case if they decide to walk Leahy, then they might go to a pinch hitter to come around rather than fire Dutton at them. So
knowing Azza, the way I know Azza,
but with 2 strikes on him, you've got to go after him. You've got to try and get the big second out.
You're going at him.
The run at second base means nothing to Cronulla. So Cavill, the 1-2 pitch, fastball, and it's fouled off by Leahy. Did a great job of getting around on that. Cavill throws hard, probably in the low 90s.
Cronulla Sharks 2 outs away from the championship.
And Ryde with the tying run at the plate. They only trail by 2. It is 3-1. Cronulla over Ryde. Cavill winds up again. Change of pace. Misses upstairs. Oh, that was tight. That was a brave leave from Lee.
How about the swing?
Well, I'm thinking if you hit that one, it's going to go. It was
Brave
on the shelf.
leave.
It was on the shelf.
He was sitting on fastball and got frozen, no doubt. Next pitch comes in, fouls it off. He stays alive. There is no question Nick Leahy is sitting on the Cavill fastball because he just cannot react to anything else.
Wow. What a back end of this game here. We're in the top of the 7th innings. Cronulla 2 outs away from the championship.
2-2 pitch from Cavill is swung on and missed. Leahy goes down on strikes and Cronulla have the second out.
Wow.
Brave pitch that from Cavill. Nick Gates calling it to the inside edge. He just tied the hands on Leahy. He couldn't get the body around. Couldn't clear the hips, couldn't get the barrel around, and goes down on strikes on the inside fastball. That'll bring Chris Dutton to the plate. Dutton 0 for 2 as the DH. Ardil looking for third. Indifference. They're not even worried about him. They will let him have third base because the championship is at the plate for Cronulla.
Third baseman's not interested in him either. They're just letting him do what he wants.
Swung on, foul down the third base line. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chris Dutton.
Blake looks like he's having a lot of fun out there.
I've never known a Cavill not to have fun on a diamond, to be honest, Matty.
We had a little jiggle after his second out.
I've played plenty of baseball with Matty, who's sitting down in front of us over the years, and I've never known a Cavill not to have fun on a baseball diamond.
Very passionate people.
Great baseballing family.
He's shaking off signs from his catcher. He just shook off the first 3. Nick Gates would have been wondering what else can he throw.
Yeah, he's only got 3 pitches. Fastball, slider, change-up. He shook all 3 of them off.
No, doesn't like that one either. All right, go with your next choice.
Cavill now to Dutton. Fastball fouled off over the first base side, out of play. Ryder down to their last strike.
Wow. I don't think they can do it, boys.
Dutton is the tying run, however.
Backs to the wall.
But they are down to their last strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chris Dutton, runner at third base. Can Cavill force himself to throw a change-up? He does! Strike 3 and rings him up on strikes! Blake Cavill gets the strikeout and the Cronulla Sharks will win second grade by 3 runs to 1. The Sharks claim the second grade trophy.
Wow. How about that for a finish? Cold as strikeout on Chris Dutton, the designated hitter from the Ryde Hawks. Could not swoop on that one.
Brave pitch from Cavill. Big call from Gates if he was calling it from the plate. because they were sitting on Cavill's fastball. Don't think he even threw a slider in that whole inning. They were sitting on his fastball. He comes up with a changeup and absolutely froze Chris Dutton for strike 3. And Cronulla go on to win the second grade championship by a score of 3-1 over the Ryde Hawks in an hour and 40 minutes.
Wow. What a fast 7 innings game.
Good game for a good game.
Look at the players out there. They've put in a good battle. As we said, they were all aggressive all the time. They stayed that way all day. A number of players got their opportunity. Cavill comes in to close in that top of the 7th innings and clinched that game for them, no doubt whatsoever. Great effort by the Cronulla Sharks. They'll be happy with their lot today. They take out the second grade championship for Baseball New South Wales State League competition. Wow, these guys are the feeders for the ABL, and they do a fantastic job in development. And these are the second grade guys. We've still got first grade to go, of course, starting with first pitch at 7:30.
Oh, we'll get a break.
We've got a bit of a break. We might have some dinner, and that will be between the Vikings from Canterbury Vikings and Macarthur Orioles. 7:30 we'll be back for that, but in the meantime we're just going to stay in here a little while and watch those Cronulla Sharks celebrate a well-deserved win. And what a great competition that second grade.
Oh, absolutely. And as we were saying in the broadcast and throughout the broadcast, Matty brought it up several times. We mentioned it several times. It all basically came down to the patience of the batters. And nobody showed any more patience in the game than Max Marakovic. And he drove in all 3 of Cronulla's runs. Or both of the hits that he got to score those 3 runs were done on full counts where he just sat and waited and waited. Eventually he got the fastball on the full count pitch, drove in the runs and did the damage for Cronulla. Ryde just never really got any offense going. Every time they looked dangerous, they'd either ground into a double play ball, or they'd pop up on a fly. They went after too many first pitches, but Cronulla deserved champions of second grade.
And once again, look, Ryde were the dominant second grade team all season. And once again, Cronulla have come back and they've stolen the day.
The best team on the day. And interesting that the second grade scoreline is the same as the under 18 scoreline. Manly getting at the back end of the game 3-1 over Cronulla. So Cronulla get their own back here in the second grade game 3-1 over the Ryde Hawks. And then the third grade game, the scoreline in that was very, very close as well. And that was 4-1 in favour of Balcombe Hills. So Balcombe Hills defeated Macarthur 4-1 in the third grade game. So very low scoring games, great battles across the board.
What you would expect from grand final.
Yep.
Good tight baseball from 2 very good tight teams, and the difference just being in the third grade game, 1 innings where a team panicked. In this game it was just one gentleman that just had an exceptional day out. A couple of nice hits for a single and a triple, and that was the difference between the 2 teams.
Yeah.
Definitely, my MVP.
Oh, has
to be the MVP.
And also had a really good game out in the field there too. Was really, really solid there at second base. Came up with a couple of decent plays. Stick that with his single and his triple, and all 3 of the runs batted in. And if he doesn't get the MVP, I'll be very, very surprised.
Yeah, well, those presentations will take place shortly. Actually, all of the trophies have now been positioned on the table there, and Kerry Jackson, the competition manager, is going to control that presentation, and Peter Warboy's there to present some awards as well, I see, and good seeing some of the guys around the ground at the moment. And we've lost our ground announcer. Gary's got his uniform on so he can be one of the coaches with the Orioles in first grade later on. So yeah, there we go. We're getting ready for that presentation, and we'll just take a musical break at the moment, and we'll be back at just before 7:30 for the first grade preliminary final game 2.
That's it. We'll shut it down, and we'll be back for first grade at about 7:20.